For our first guest this morning, we have Megaworld's Kevin Tan, Chief Strategy Officer. He actually saw a boom in Iloilo long before others did. And now Megaworld is reaping the benefits. Kevin, finally, we have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Michelle, for having me.
Okay, so Kevin, your research, what does it tell you about the direction of the property market? I know that leasing, for example, is now 30% of your business. What does it tell you about rents? What does it tell you about sales for your property developments?
Well, I think our outlook is generally optimistic, and the property sector has remained pretty resilient even through the pandemic now. When you look at, for example, Metro Manila, despite the softening in demand, and that I think is very temporary, we do see prices remain stable, especially, for example, for condominiums in the segment where Megaworld operates. We've seen the prices actually hold their ground, which is a good thing considering all things being considered. For land prices, exclusive subdivisions, ours included, we've also seen, in fact, prices go up. Now, one of the things that excites us right now, though, is really the growth that we are seeing outside Metro Manila, especially in places where Megaworld operates in, and that's why we're able to see these things firsthand. Places like Pampanga, Cavite, Bacolod, and Iloilo. We're seeing, robust take-ups there for our horizontal and vertical developments. We've had several project launches last year in the height of the pandemic in those areas. And some of them are either 100% sold out or at the very least around 60-70% sold out today. So,
wow.
And the demand continues to grow there. And prices also continue to appreciate in those areas. For the office segment, last year we did a total of 270,000 square meters of lease transactions. Half of that were new transactions, including expansions, and half of that were renewals. This year, we're looking to surpass that. We're looking to do at least 300,000 square meters of lease transactions. So our general sentiment is very optimistic, and we're actually quite excited about all the new investments that's happening actually outside Metro Manila.
Kevin, I want to talk about Iloilo. Now the brightest spot in your office leasing portfolio. You're seeing that boom. Did it come as a surprise? I know that Megaworld started investing there as early as 2013. What did you see?
Well, what impressed us about Iloilo was, in fact, the way the city was developed, the infrastructure that was put into that city. They have very good, nice airports, very, very nice roads, sufficient and stable power supply. I mean, those are the things that really attract a lot of our investors. Another thing that struck us was the number of graduates that was produced by the local universities in Iloilo. Iloilo produces anywhere from 25 to 30,000 graduates every year, and that is a source for talent for the growing BPO sector. That's why we are doing very well in Iloilo. We have currently 100,000 square meters of office space there, comprising of 70% of the total office market there. All of that is 100% leased out. And currently we're building another 40,000 square meters, which we will be delivering in phases starting next year.
So I guess, Kevin, as Chief Strategy Officer, where is the next boom likely going to be? What's the next Iloilo that you see, perhaps in Visayas or in Mindanao?
Well, right now, as I mentioned, we discussed four areas. We're seeing a lot of demand coming from Pampanga. We're also seeing a lot of demand coming from Cavite as well, and Bacolod. So these are basically the four areas where we will be really focusing our attention on, maybe this year and next year. So we're very, very bullish actually with these areas.
And have you factored in the macroeconomic outlook? For example, we're getting first quarter GDP numbers in less than an hour. How are people in the C-suite viewing where the economy is right now and the kind of recovery you expect?
I think a lot will really depend overall on how quickly we can vaccinate our population, most especially Metro Manila. I think it's very critical that we achieve a herd immunity here in Metro Manila, because Metro Manila, or the NCR region, still is the center of our economy. So a lot is dependent on that. I think that when the vaccination does kick in, the consumer confidence can be restored. You'll see probably a lot of pent up demand, or what they call revenge spending. So I think there's going to be a lot of growth in retail, shopping, restaurants, entertainment. I think also there's going to be a lot of domestic travel happening. Last quarter, we did see some of our outside Metro Manila locations, tourist destinations, actually experiencing good occupancy. And so we've got a taste of that, and we think that that can very much happen again in a very sustained manner as well. I don't think foreign international travel will kick in anytime soon. I think that's going to take a while. But I think we have a very robust domestic tourism industry.
Kevin, given all of these assumptions, then when are you expecting to see a turnaround in profit growth? Most property players continue to see drop in earnings up until first quarter. That's not news. That's expected. That's for everybody. But when do you expect a turnaround to profit growth? Realistically, is it this year? Is it happening by the fourth quarter, or are you waiting for next year?
I think this year we can, overall, I think starting the second half, we can expect some growth. I think single digits overall for Megaworld. I think our focus right now is we want to be resilient and we want to be profitable, no? And to achieve certain growth this year and next year. I don't think we will be anywhere near our 2019 numbers. That was a banner year for everyone. I think it will take a while for us to be able to get back to that level. But at the very least, I think this year we can expect maybe single-digit growth.
And I know, Kevin, that you've set aside a more targeted capex this year. It's bigger compared to last year, but it's very targeted. It's 36 billion pesos. 76% will go to development projects, 24% for investment properties, and zero allocation for land banking. Why zero? I mean, is no one selling at this point? Are there no good prices?
Yeah, well, we approach our capex, of course, with a little bit of caution still, no? And of course, we do have priorities right now, which is to complete a lot of our development projects and our recurring income projects as well. We're also quite comfortable with our current land bank. We have about 4,500 hectares of undeveloped land right now, so we're quite comfortable with that. But I think it's not to say that we can't change strategy midway through. We remain open to opportunities if they come our way, and we can actually revise the capex and the allocations further on this year.
And for those, Kevin, who are not too familiar, what exactly do you mean by investment properties?
I mean, when I say investment, I meant our recurring income properties.
Okay, recurring.
Malls, yeah.
Okay. And finally, REITs, how soon? I know the REITs has been postponed from the second half of last year. Is it finally happening this year, Kevin?
Yes, we're looking to launch a REIT by second half. I can't say much. You'll have to wait for the announcement, but I can tell you it's going to be big.
Wow. Okay. On that note, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck in your projects.
Thank you, Michelle.
Have a good day.